Some countries played 0 games to reach the 2026 World Cup. Others played 18. Same tournament, same prize. Completely different journeys. And nobody talks about this. Because on the surface, qualifying looks simple. You win your games, you go to the World Cup. Easy, right? It is not easy. It is not simple. And depending on where you were born, the path to the biggest tournament on the planet is either a short stroll or an absolute nightmare that takes 2 full years and could end with a random draw deciding your fate. So let's break down exactly how World Cup qualifying actually works. Every region, every round. Fast. Let's go. Section 1. The system nobody explains. Here's the thing most fans don't realize. There is no single World Cup qualifying tournament. There are 6 of them, one for each continent, and they all work completely differently. UEFA does it one way, Africa does it another way. Asia has 5 rounds. South America just throws everyone into one giant league and lets them fight it out for 2 years. It's chaotic. It's fascinating. And it's wildly unfair depending on where you live. The reason it works this way is simple. FIFA splits the 48 World Cup spots between the 6 World Cup spots between the 6 confederations, and each confederation runs its own qualifying competition to decide who fills those spots. In theory, every country on Earth gets a fair shot. In practice, some countries barely have to try. Section 2. The free passes. Let's start with the easiest route to the World Cup. 0 games required. The United States, Canada, and Mexico hosted the 2026 tournament. So FIFA gave all 3 of them automatic spots. They didn't play a single qualifying match. They just showed up. Passport stamped. See you in June. Now, is that fair? Debatable. But it's been the rule forever. Host nations get in automatically. It makes logistical sense. You can't have a host country get knocked out before the tournament even starts. That would be a PR nightmare of historic proportions. So right away, 3 spots are gone before qualifying even begins. And those 3 spots came directly out of CONCACAF's allocation, meaning fewer spots were left for everyone else in North and Central America. Here's where it gets interesting. Section 3. South America, the gauntlet. If you want a pure footballing nightmare, look at CONMEBOL. That's South America. 10 nations, 6 spots. One massive home and away league where everybody plays everybody. Twice, home and away. That's 18 games per team over roughly 2 years. Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, all fighting in the same pot. No easy group, no soft draw, no hiding. You want to qualify from South America? You have to beat your neighbors, who happen to include the reigning world champions, 5-time world champions, and a team that's never once had a bad generation. Paraguay played 18 games and barely scraped through. They lost 4 times, scored just 14 goals in all of qualifying, and still made it by the skin of their teeth. That's the South American way. Brutal. Honest. Exhausting. Respect. Section 4. Europe. The crowded room. UEFA has 54 member nations competing for 16 spots. That's the most spots of any confederation, and they still need the most teams to fight for them. Every European nation gets placed into a qualifying group. You play home and away against each team in your group. Win your group and you're through automatically. Finish second and you might get another shot through the playoffs. 12 teams qualified directly. 4 more came through playoff knockout rounds. 2 legs, win or go home, penalties if needed. Here's the sarcastic part. Some of Europe's biggest names still nearly missed out. Italy, 3-time world champions, 4-time world champions, went through the playoffs and still got knocked out by Bosnia and Herzegovina on penalties. Italy, out on penalties in qualifying. The country that invented defensive football got knocked out defending a penalty shootout. Football is something else. Section 5. Africa, 53-9. Africa had 53 nations competing for 9 direct spots. Let that sink in. 53 countries, 9 tickets. That's 1 spot for roughly every 6 teams. CAF split all 53 nations into 9 groups of 6. Every team plays home and away against each other team in their group. Win the group and you're in. Simple enough. But here's the catch. Finishing second in your group isn't enough to qualify automatically. The 4 best runners-up from across all 9 groups got drawn into a playoff. 2 more games. 1 more chance to go home. For Africa, qualifying is a marathon. Some nations played 10 group games plus 2 playoff legs. 12 games just to maybe possibly get to the World Cup. Nigeria played 12 games and still didn't make it. Nigeria, one of the most talented squads on the continent. Out, gone, not in the 48. You know the type of qualifying campaign. Great individual performances, late equalizers, heartbreak on the final match day. That was Nigeria in a nutshell. Section 6, Asia, the 5-round obstacle course. Asia takes the prize for the most complicated qualifying system on the planet. 5 rounds, not 2, not 3, 5. The lowest-ranked Asian nation started in round 1. 2-leg knockout ties. Win and you survived to round 2. Lose and you're done. 2 games in, and it's already over. The winners from round 1 then joined the better-ranked Asian nations in round 2. 9 groups of 4, home and away. Top 2 from each group advanced to round 3. Round 3 was 3 groups of 6, playing home and away again. Top 2 from each group qualified automatically. And then rounds 4 and 5 sorted out the remaining spots. Some Asian nations played 2 games, some played 18. The gap within the same confederation is enormous. Japan qualified first out of every nation in the entire world. They cruised through their group without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, Iraq was still fighting for its life in round 5, a final 2-legged playoff against the UAE, scraping through 3-2 on aggregate to claim the last Asian automatic spot. Same continent, same World Cup. One team barely tried, the other team barely survived. Section 7, Oceania and the Intercontinental Lottery. Now for the part that actually makes no sense. Oceania, that's the Pacific Islands, New Zealand, places like New Caledonia and Fiji, had exactly 1 direct qualifying spot for the entire region. 1 spot. New Zealand won it. They play in a confederation with some of the smallest, most underfunded football nations on the planet, and they qualified. Good for them. But here's the wild part. Every other confederation also sent 1 team to an intercontinental playoff. 6 nations from different corners of the world, Africa, Asia, South America, CONCACAF, Oceania, thrown into a mini-tournament to fight over 2 remaining World Cup spots. Bolivia, DR Congo, Iraq, Jamaica, Suriname, New Caledonia. 6 nations who survived months or years of qualifying, only to be told, okay, now do it all again. 2 more games. Winner goes through. DR Congo made it. Iraq made it. New Caledonia played their hearts out and went home. This sounds simple. It isn't. And for those nations, those 2 intercontinental playoff games carried the weight of an entire country on their backs. So here's where we started. Some countries played 0 qualifying games, others played 18, and that gap tells the whole story of how global football actually works. Not as one fair system, but as 6 different competitions, all running at the same time, with wildly different odds depending on which side of the world you were born on. The 2026 World Cup has 48 nations, but the real tournament, the one with the highest stakes, the most drama, and the most heartbreak, that already happened. It took 2 years, and most people never watched a single minute of it. Here's the question worth thinking about. If qualifying is this unequal, does it actually matter where you're from more than how good you are? Think about it. And if you want more videos that go deeper into football than the highlights ever will, subscribe.